I'm Hannah Spacek. I'm a veterinarian from Needville, Texas, and I'm the owner of Needville Animal Hospital. I'm also a wife, and I'm a mother of 3 young children. I'm actually Needville is my hometown. I grew up in Needville, Texas. I was born here and went through my schooling here, and then went off to Texas A&M to study biomedical sciences with the hope and dream and goal of attending veterinary school at Texas A&M. Okay, so growing up, it's every little kid's dream, I think, to be a veterinarian, and I was no different. That was always my dream from the time I knew what a veterinarian was. That's what I wanted to be in life, and somehow through, I guess, my determination and my family's support and encouragement, I was able to. I'm here now, and I accomplished it. If you had asked me at any point in my life, like if you weren't going to be, I guess I was asked that at points in my life, if you weren't going to be a veterinarian, what would you be? I'm not usually short on words, but I have no answer for you. I've always wanted to be a veterinarian. I wouldn't really entertain the thought of anything else. And so I just, as I went through my schooling and things, that was always the goal I had in mind. And I think it's honestly was my destiny. I think I was called to do this. That's how even on hard days, I look back and I think, today really wasn't a great day, but I still feel like at the end of the day, I was called to do the work that I'm doing and to be a veterinarian and to kind of help people. I mean, it's easy to think of a veterinarian as only helping animals, but certainly I've rarely seen an animal come in without a human attached to them or owning them or caring for them. So, it's important for me to help others realize there's always a human and an animal connection that I'm dealing with. And that's one part that I really like about my job. I do love animals. I enjoy animals. They're cool to me. They're better than people sometimes, but people are also pretty good. But I really enjoy seeing people bond with their animals, whether it's a little dog or a cat or a livestock animal, a horse that they use to compete. There's always some relationship there. Most of them good, healthy relationships, and being able to help the animal, which usually helps the person. That's part of my job that I feel like is unique, and that's, I guess, what makes me want to keep doing it every day. Is it's every relationship just is different, and every animal is different, and every scenario with their health is different, and so it's always a puzzle scientifically and a puzzle sometimes mentally and emotionally dealing with them, and it keeps me on my toes, but for some reason so far I seem to be okay at it, so I just keep learning and evolving and trying to help as many people and animals as I can in a day.
Veterinarians prefer, very few are large animal veterinarians, and so you deal with cows and horses and of course goats, which is where we come in sometimes. But I just wondering, was that a decision, or is that just reality of living out in Needville that you knew that would be a big part of your practice?
It's both, I would say. People say, what do you like better? Do you like the large animals or the small animals? Or maybe I'm just indecisive is what I'm learning about myself, but I couldn't pick one without the other, really. I mean, there are days, the large animal work is well, sometimes the small animal work is dirtier, but in general, large animal work is dirtier, more physical, that kind of thing. Like, I mean, I definitely have like 3 changes of clothes on hand at all times, because pulling calves or delivering baby goats, things like that, you can get pretty dirty pretty quick. And there's times that, the day, if it's really cold outside, you don't want to be covered in placenta or afterbirth, but you know what, those are really gratifying moments. Those are really it makes that's fun to me. Like, those are fun days. And so I really I wouldn't want to do one without the other. And I grew up in like a small farm, small cattle farm is what I would call it. So around cows and calves, and raising them for meat and that kind of thing. So that's my kind of just what I go back to, and what I probably know the best of anything is cow calf operations and what all that entails. And so I love talking about that with people. So that's part of the other greatness of large animal practice is the interactions with producers, and sometimes not even about the hands-on treating an animal. There's a lot of consulting and discussion and education, I feel like, that goes into it. And thankfully I like that part too. I really love to share what I know, and I'm always, I'm the first to tell you, I'm never going to know everything. So I love learning things that I can pass on and share as well. So that's part of what I like about, large animal medicine. And then small animal medicine, I mean, it's I don't know, it's different too. I love it, but because of there's a more able to more fully work up diseases and sometimes better treatment options for small animals. There's a constantly evolving array of new medications that we can use, new therapies. I mean, the sky's the limit really sometimes on small animal medicine and how far it's come, and it's probably over the century that we've been treating animals. So, but Dr. Stern just reiterated that to me, is the way you treat people matters, the way you treat their animals matters, doing a good job matters, that kind of thing. And so that he just really instilled that in me in the years that we worked together. It's not all, it doesn't have to always be about how fancy of stuff you can do and stuff like that. At the end of the day, the way you treat people and that you care is really what it boils down to, and the way the way you care and you want to take care of them and their animals. And so I feel lucky to have worked with him. I feel lucky that I was able to take over his practice, and just it's a great animal hospital that he's built in a great town. Part of when I started to have this goal of I want to go talk to Dr. Stern, I want to buy this practice from him. Part of it was I want to be in my hometown. I want to serve the people that I know, which that's got some drawbacks too, because everybody, and then maybe they still see you as a 15-year-old kid. I don't really know, but I wanted to be part of my community and stay part of my community and be an integral part of the community and be able to help people for a long, long time. So,
okay. So the second to last question is, how does your faith, or has your faith, influenced the way that you look at work?
It makes me keep showing up every day. That's for sure. I'm following the path that he's laid out for me. I hope I am. I think I am. I keep asking him that just to make sure that that's the plan. It's a hard career. I don't know if within veterinarians themselves, there's a lot of mental health disorders. There's high rates of suicide, things like that. So I try to, I feel like it's important. My relationship with God and my faith is important to keep me seeing the good and seeing that this is not all just me, that I have help. And I mean, you can probably drown in this work pretty easily, or get burned out. It's easy to only see the bad in people, or what what people are capable of that isn't sometimes good. But I think that if you keep your eyes on God, that you're able to see good in people and animals, and that these he gave us these animals as gifts and ways to enrich our lives. And so I think that it's my faith that keeps me positive, keeps me going, not exhausted, and knowing that sometimes when it feels like too much, it's just too much. Then God's there he helps pick it up and pick up the slack and help me keep going. So I guess that's how I think. That's how my faith helps me in my work.
And so the last question is for Stacy, because I know that you're her vet, and this work that she does is very important to her, and she wouldn't trust her animals with just anyone. So I want her to share what has built your trust with Dr. Hannah?
She cares for my animals and for me as well. The way she looks at me as a person, and engages me, both helping me to understand where we're going together, because I could not do the work I do without her, and to help my animals to be healthier and better. And we're working really hard to work on genetics and conformation, and you can't have any of that progress without help. So it's really important, and she's a God for me.
Well, I wanted to share that because I know we interviewed my barber, actually, and I said, sometimes you miss that, because it's one thing someone saying this is the way I want to look at my work. It's another thing when a customer or someone you work with is able to say, hey, I see this in the way you do the work. So it's kind of a confirmation that you're attempting, and it's being recognized.
Thank you, Stacy. You make it easy. It's fun to work on your animals, and I appreciate your trust always.
Some of the worst days are the days when I have to go, right?
Absolutely.
But knowing that you're going to be there lifts a lot of the heaviness from me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So.
I don't think I'm that great, but I'm going to keep trying to be. So
you are amazing.
Hey, you're young, so you can always get better.
That's right.